What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS3 Raw TV. Hopefully you're doing well, safe and sound, away from all this craziness in our world. And today is, let's see, this is week 2. Week 2 back, but week 3 feeling better after COVID. And little update, it's not really a good one. All right, so here we are now. So we're starting the second week back. We use the chocolate ones today. I like the chocolate. Second week back, and you guys saw my first day back in the gym, and I was feeling okay. You know, it was what it was. And then you guys saw I took the little trip to the dispensary and stuff, and we did what we had to do for our errands and stuff that day. And I'll tell you what, I went back to the gym yesterday, starting week 2 back at the gym, right? It's okay. I feel pretty good. You know, I do feel good. I feel like I could progress a little bit. So what I did was I did 3 sets of incline bench press machine that we have at the shop gym, which is actually a really cool machine. And I did 3 sets of cable crossovers, and I did 3 sets of a dip machine. And during the dip machine, a friend of mine, Mike, that I saw, I hadn't seen for a while, he actually had COVID too. We shot the shit for a little while. So it was like a delayed set or a delayed exercise. You know, I did like a set, I talked to him for a little bit, then did the last 2 sets. And I noticed by the time I did the last 2 sets, while I was talking to him, I was having a hard time like standing up. I could feel like my body shaking. And I was like, shit, maybe I'm having a blood sugar crash or something like that. And I was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. So I went and I wanted to finish up with a little bit of triceps. I did like 2 sets of triceps. Then I hopped on the treadmill for 20 minutes at 2.5. Now, while I was on the treadmill, I was having a hard time with my balance. It was very strange. I'm like, fucking, my balance is all over the place. I had to hold on to the railings. I was sitting there saying to myself, like, I felt good walking in. Like, I feel good in general. Like, I feel really energized. But here's the thing. As soon as I got back in the gym, I was fucking zapped. Like, my body's not progressing like it usually does. Usually by the second week after being sick, I can jump right in the gym and just fucking go. Like, I wouldn't say just go, but I'm back in the gym and I can at least do, 12 sets for chest, 6 sets for tris, 12 sets for back. I could do things like that. This is not like that. This is like, I did like 9, 10, 11. I did 11 sets total. Super light, super, no intensity, anything like that, on machines. And I had a hard time driving home. I was like falling asleep on the way home. And I get home and I was like, I ate and I told Ernest I'm gonna lay down. I laid down, I was fucking out and snoring within 2 seconds. And I was completely out for an hour and a half. I woke up, I was groggy, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was spent from doing 9 sets plus 20 minutes on the treadmill. And I didn't really understand. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So this COVID has made me really, I knew enough about it before, but once you have it, you start feeling this weird shit. And like the fatigue from this thing, it doesn't fucking go away when you feel better. Like, you feel better, but as soon as you exert yourself, you're fucking exhausted again. And it's 2 weeks after, technically, last week I was back in the gym. The week before I was feeling better. So it's technically 1, 2, this is the 3rd week after I felt better. And I still don't have any endurance. I still don't have any wind. I still feel exhausted if I exert myself. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I know after you have the flu, it takes a little bit for your body to recover from it and stuff like that. But it's different. It's a very different exhaustion. I was like, what the fuck? So I got home last night and it was weird. I was like holding my phone, sitting on the couch, and I was doing my emails and going back and forth. And I noticed my hand was like this. And I'm like, am I having a blood sugar? I keep thinking blood sugar crash when I'm shaking. What was happening was my body was so fatigued that holding the phone, the weight of the phone is like when you're in that last rep and you're like struggling. That's what it was like from holding the phone. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I watched a little bit of WWE. I work with some of the WWE guys. Seth Rollins is one of them, and he was on last night. And I was like watching it. I was like, I'm fucking done. I went to bed. I was out early. Like, I finished my emails. I was out early. I just went to sleep and I got up at like 9:30 this morning. And I feel okay. I feel energetic, but I still feel a little run down. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is, you're not sick. You don't feel sick. It's just the exhaustion and the rundown feeling and the tiredness. So I looked it up and it said that this could last anywhere from a few weeks to a few months after you get over COVID. And I've talked to a few people. I have a friend of mine. Her name is Allison Wonderfit. Okay, that's her name on Instagram. She got COVID. And she struggled for like maybe 5, 6, 7 months. And it's hard for her to put muscle back on now. And she's been over it for I don't know how long. So I was like, well, that's interesting. But by now, it's been 3 weeks that I felt better. I am eating Chipotle burritos with like sour cream and shit in them. I'm eating fucking mac and cheese from Panera. I'm eating all kinds of crap. Buffalo wings, mashed potatoes. I'm eating all kinds of crap. My weight hasn't budged a single pound. Even without weight training, I can usually put the weight back on fairly fast. I mean, you guys have seen me do this. It's 3 weeks, and even eating and drinking a lot of water, my weight hasn't budged a single fucking pound. It's like I'm back in high school again. I can't understand how much more calories I'm taking in now. I'm more sedentary than I think I've been in like the last 10 years, and my weight isn't budging once. So calories in, calories out would dictate that my weight should be going up. I'm eating that much food, I'm restricting that much activity. I should be fucking gaining weight, and I'm not, which means there's something else going on. Obviously, there's something going on with my metabolism, and since it happened to my other friend, it's happened to more than one person that I know, right? Now, she was an extreme case. Like, she was, and to this point, she's still eating, trying to put that muscle back on. And it's been, I mean, it's been close to maybe 10 months, 9-10 months. So there's a lot of shit that comes with this virus that it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not like, there's some people, oh, it's just a cold, Jerry. You didn't have it. And I'm 99% sure I had fucking Delta. So people are like, well, how do you know? They've never isolated it. There's no independent test. Hang on. You go look up the symptoms. So I looked up the symptoms of Omicron, the original one, and Delta. I had all the symptoms of Delta. And I mean, I literally had all the symptoms. And then I went back and watched Tony Huge's video about when he got over it. When he's sitting on the beach with a microphone, like a stick stuck through it. I don't know why it was a stick. But in everything Tony said is exactly what I went through, how I went through it in order. It was like I was watching myself on the screen when Tony was talking about it. And I'm like, okay, it's Delta. All right, bottom line, it's Delta. It's not Omicron. You know, my wife Erin, she had Omicron. Other friends of mine, you know, it was like maybe 3 days, didn't feel good, stuffy nose, sore throat, cough. This is not what this was. So this Delta did a number on me. What's interesting is my wife gets fatigued easier too. Even though she had Omicron, she still gets fatigued a lot faster. And it's been the same thing with her. So it's this weird, I can't explain it. It's a weird exhaustion. Like, you literally are just like you run out of batteries. Like, your gas just fucking runs out. And it takes a while to recover from that. Like, you got to sit down. You got to like fucking lay down. Like, it's bizarre, guys. It's really weird. So I don't know if you call it a setback, but it's more of an awareness. Like, you know, today I was going to try to go do shoulders and, do cardio. But I was like, when I got up this morning, I feel like my body's actually not recovered from yesterday, which is crazy. I even did my intro, I did my post, I did my meals. It's hard to figure out what the fuck is going on with this shit, guys. And it's real. It's 100% real. This isn't like this. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm trying to tell you guys what I'm going through, because I think a lot of people, there are people that I know that have actually hidden the fact that they've actually had COVID because they don't want to appear weak. And I'm like, dude, it's fucking COVID. It's a flu, it's a cold, it's a whatever it is, it's a virus. It's going to go around. It doesn't matter whether you're a weak person, strong person, 300 pounds, 10 pounds. If you get it, you get it. Big fucking deal. Like, everybody up in New England's got it. My mother, a little update on, you know, what happened there. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's very strange, guys. And it feels like it's taking forever to recover, because it was 3 weeks being sick, right? And now I'm a couple weeks beyond that. And it's still like, it's not lingering. It's like, symptomatic wise, I don't have them. But your body, I feel like it fought so hard. It got so depleted. It's like you ran yourself in the ground for a contest prep. And then when you're done with the contest prep, it takes you like a month for your body to get back to normal. And I do know, I have had friends that have had hormone panels done. And their hormones have been fucking whacked after getting COVID. Perfect example, Titan Medical. Charisse, one of the owners of Titan Medical, she put up posts and stuff and talked about it. When she got COVID the first time, it fucking just like knocked all her hormones all over the place. I mean, it was like, they did blood work and they were like, what the fuck? And she's a healthy person, right? She works out, she eats right, she does all the right things. It fucking just knocked her hormones all over the place. She had it really fucking bad for like 2 months. It was like, it came and went. It was brutal when she had it. And I'm looking at this thing and I was like, well, underlying conditions here with this person, that person might be overweight, this person might have high blood pressure. You know, there's all these different things. But look, I mean, these are people that are into working out. They're not taking drugs. They don't have high blood pressure. They don't have other issues that people have. And they're still getting fucking whacked with it. And it's not that I didn't believe it. It's that I thought, well, you know, maybe some people, when they get the flu, they perceive it differently as other people. Like, there's some people that get a cold and they have to lay on the couch all day, right? They get a cold, they get a Z-Pack. Me, get a cold, fuck it. All right, whatever. Keep going. Flu, as long as I have a fever and I'm vomiting, I didn't even know it's a flu. I'll just fucking keep going. Right? This thing, it will knock you on your ass. It'll fuck you up. And I'm like, it's so different from person to person, because some people that got this new Omicron thing, they don't feel that bad. They don't have the lasting side effects. They think somebody like me is crazy. And I used to think people like me are crazy, but now here I am. It's a good kick in the nuts to fucking give you a reality that, hey, you know what? Like, just because you may not believe what someone's saying doesn't mean that it's not fucking actually happening and not real. So when it happens to you, you're like, holy shit, this was pretty hardcore. Fuck. So I wouldn't say it's a setback, but I would say it's definitely an eye-opener that I have to take this thing slower. And it's crazy how I'm not gaining any weight. And it's weird because I stay pretty lean, right? It's like I lost muscle. It's all muscle that came off my frame because the water I put back in my body, my urine is clear again. And I feel like, I got hydrated enough. Like I'm drinking enough water and I feel like I'm hydrated, but it's just like, no matter what you're eating, it's not sticking. You can't push yourself in the gym. And I'm like, man, this is a different spot to be in. So I'm going to take it day by day. When I wake up in the morning, I'm going to try to do some cardio today. I'm going to actually put some meals in me and do some cardio. Not for fat loss, but to actually get some activity in. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on with your heart with this too, which kind of freaks me out a little bit, to be totally honest with you. But take care of myself, take care of my heart, and get back in the gym and keep moving. But man, it's just, it's an eye-opening experience. It absolutely is. All right, here we are. Quick update on my mom. So you guys saw in the last video that I was having this great day. I was having a phenomenal day. And I get the call from my aunt that, mom is not doing well and it doesn't look good. And that was all the information that she had at that point. So she said my mom had her phone with her. So what we do is we do FaceTime. My mom and I FaceTime all the time. Once she figured out how to use it on her iPhone, and that's all we use is the FaceTime. But I called her. She did pick up. She was in the hospital. She had the mask on. She had like an oxygen thing. It was hard to hear her, hard to understand her. And I said, hey, Ma, how you feeling? Like, what's going on? Now, I didn't know what to expect because now she was like awake and she seemed weak and she seemed tired. But she's like, I have COVID. I have COVID pneumonia. And I was like, oh, shit. And I'm like, this is the second time she had COVID. She had COVID early. It was like last year she had it. And didn't really affect her. She didn't even know she had it pretty much. She was just tired. And had a little bit of a cough, I think. And I got over it really quickly. No complications, good to go. Well, this time COVID pneumonia, of course, your lungs are filled with fluid. It's a lot different. It's a lot more dangerous. It's dangerous for a healthy young person, let alone somebody like her who, has stage 4 cancer. Your immune system is not functioning properly. And I said, man, this is going to be bad. I said, so I started preparing myself. I said, this is not good. And so for 2 days, she was in the hospital. She got out. They gave her remdesivir and a bunch of other stuff. And she got better. She got good enough to be released from the hospital. Now, mind you, I didn't know she was actually released from the hospital. So I thought she had been going to be staying there for a little bit because COVID pneumonia can take people weeks to get over, right? Well, I guess they got it fast enough with whatever they were giving her. And she got over it enough to go home. And so that was on Wednesday when I was filming the video. Was Wednesday. On Saturday, I get a call. It's her. When I'm at this seminar, we had a seminar at DMV Iron here in Alexandria. They brought a bunch of pros in. It was an NPC not show. It was an NPC event. So I'm over here like throwing words around like it's an expo. It was an event. So we had a posing seminar, and they brought Hunter Labrada in, Jeremy Potvin, Yarishna, Laura Lee Chapados. They brought a bunch of pros in to do this. And it was our first big event of the year. So I get out over there, and before it starts, I get a phone call, and I notice it's my mom's number. And I'm like, I'm always waiting for that call. Like, I know one day it's going to be her number. I'm going to push the button, and it's going to be my brother, and he's going to be like, Mom passed. I think I feel like that's part of my future. Like, that's coming, right? So it's my mom, and she doesn't have the mask on, but she's still in the hospital. Now, mind you, I didn't even know she had gotten out. I said, hey, Mom, what's going on? How you feeling today? She said, I'm back in the hospital. I said, what? Wait a minute, you were out of the hospital? So she tells me what happened. I said, well, what are you back for? And she said, well, I have a blood clot in my heart. And I was like, are you fucking kidding? Like, she can't catch a break, right? But she's so fucking tough, strong, pig-headed, determined, all those fucking things describe my mom. So they were treating it with like heparin and some other stuff and, et cetera. And I'm like, she's elderly, she has stage 4 cancer, and she's gotten an extra few years through the treatments and stuff, but the treatments are not really working anymore. So it's just a matter of time. She's declining, she's slowing down. You can see, her getting tired. And I just can't figure out what to do, right? In my heart, if this was pre-COVID, I would just run home and stay there with her. During COVID, there were restrictions. And in Rhode Island, you can't go inside the hospital rooms. So even if I went home, I have been avoid going home for the last year because of the traveling. I've been traveling all over the place. I traveled out of the country to Mexico. I've been traveling up and down the East Coast. I travel all the time. I'm in contact with thousands of people at these expos and shows. And I'm like, I don't want to bring something home to my mom and kill her. If she got the COVID that I just had, she would have been dead, hands down. There's no way her body would have been able to fight that off. So this whole time I've been trying to be extra careful and not be selfish. But it's hard because it's not just being selfish, because she wants me to come home too. She wants me to come home to see me one last time before she passes. And I'm like, but what if I come home and give you something and you have 6 months left, a year left, and I give you something and your immune system is so jacked that you die that day or the day after getting it? Like, that's my fault. I robbed you of the rest of your life, and I can't do that. Like, I won't do that. Like, whatever time you have left is yours. I can't do that. So I constantly struggle with whether or not I can go home. I can't go home. If I do, what do I do when I get there? Like, there's also restrictions where I think you have to, like, when you go online, it tells you nothing. I mean, it doesn't matter what state you go to. Like, you go online and things are so outdated that it's changed 10 times by the time you look at it now. And I'm like, what happens? They said it was a quarantine for 10 days. So even if I flew home, I would have to be quarantined in a hotel for 10 days before I could even go see her. But then I can't see her because she's in the hospital. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand, what to do. So now, at this point, I just wait. I wait to hopefully that she gets out of the hospital. Hopefully she beats this blood clot too and is okay. I don't know. It's so up in the air for somebody who's so ill to begin with to be going through this. It's hard. The stress of traveling is very hard. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like when you're traveling, people are just stressed out. They're worried about COVID. They're worried about infecting each other. They're worried about getting infected, right, on the plane. I wear a certain mask. It's specifically for somebody with asthma, which, when I was coming back from Mexico, they told me I couldn't wear it on the plane. So how do you think I got here? They're like, oh, they shouldn't have let you. They were going to cancel my flight. And I'm like, well, so I had to put on a regular mask, which having asthma, it makes it very hard to breathe. And I got to the seat, I took it off, put the black one back on, and nobody noticed because, once my beard is dyed, you can't really tell that it's mesh unless you're like really up close to me. And so just getting through, and can I get on the plane? Can I not get on? Are you going to give me a hard time? Like all that bullshit on top of the people around you that are scared and acting, fidgety and stuff, right? There's just a vibe when you get out there. And then when you get to the state you're going to, what are the restrictions there? What are the rules there? Like, we don't know. Like, you just never know because you can't just go online. You should be able to go online and say, all right, here's what's going on, but you can't, right? Because they haven't updated it in 5 months, 3 months, 7 months, 10 months, 2 months, whatever it is. So then you're just like, well, I don't even know what to do to what to expect to get up there. Now, Rhode Island's a little bit different than Virginia. Virginia's a big enough state where I think we're actually understaffed police-wise. Now, Rhode Island, especially in Warren and Bristol and stuff, they're not understaffed. They have more police than they need. And they do have meetings in the morning, a morning briefing, where they go over the color of the inspection sticker on your car. So they know what color to pull somebody over for because the inspection sticker was just up, 3 days ago at the end of the month, or at the beginning of the month, rather. They do pull you over for expired tags. We've seen people driving around here with expired tags for 6 months, and people are still driving around. There, it's different. The police are looking for things or looking for laws being broken because that's their job. And they have, a lot more time and area to do it in up there. So it's just different. It's like going up there, I figured maybe I could drive up there. My out-of-state plates would be looked at immediately. They look at all the out-of-state plates. Trust me, I live there and I worked very closely with the Providence Police. And my one cousin is a police officer in Warren. I think he's going to retire. He did retire now. And I have another police officer cousin in Bristol, Rhode Island. And they look for these things because they are, laws that are being broken. And then these police have the right to pull you over and talk to you about it. But the last thing I need to do is drive up there to try to see my mom who's, not doing well and be I don't think I'd be arrested, but I think I would have to do the quarantine if they found out I was up there. So I'm like, I don't know, you like quarantine you for 10 days. You know what could happen in 10 days? And she could pass within 10 days. And I still wouldn't see her. It's like there's all these scenarios that, like your hands are tied. And it's frustrating and it's upsetting. And it's, like another reason why I'm not recovering very well is, of course, I'm worried about my mom. I'm stressed out. And I don't sleep well. Even with the cannabis, I'll get to sleep. But the problem is I'm waiting for that phone call. I'm waiting for that phone call in the middle of the night to be like, Mom just passed. So if I get up to go to the bathroom, I grab my phone, I look at it, right? And as soon as you push that light and you're trying to focus to see what the phone says, you're kind of awake a little bit, right? Go to the bathroom, lay back down, fall back asleep. When I go to roll over, I'm just awake enough to be aware that I got to check the phone. And I'll check the phone. So I probably check the phone 5, 6, 7 times a night, get up once or twice to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And I'm like, my sleep is all broken. I wake up and I feel like I'm not rested. So my body's not going to recover if I'm not sleeping properly either. So there's a lot of that stress on top of it where just so much is going on at once right now. And the year just started. We're like 2 weeks into the year right now. Or are we 3 weeks? We're almost 3 weeks into the year now. And it's, it's stressful enough. I haven't even started traveling yet. I had my first trip February 14th. I got to go to Pittsburgh. So I'm not even traveling yet. I'm already stressed out. I can just imagine how it's going to be when I do have to start traveling, and I might be at an event, like I was at an event this weekend and they told, my mom had the blood clot. I mean, I was at an event, the last event that we were at, and that was Nationals. Before Nationals, it was the Ben Weeder here, which was in November. And I got the call that my mom was rushed to the hospital then. And I was live on the air doing the live feed, which is streamed worldwide. And we were in the intermission. I got the call. I had to go back on that live feed and act like nothing was going on and give it my all, knowing that my mom is in the hospital and probably possibly dying right then. So there I could be at the judging table. I could be head judging. I could be on the live stream. That's kind of like one of my jobs around here right now. They call me the main guy of the live stream. I could be doing any one of those things right now and get the call and they say your mom has passed. And have to go back to doing my job. Have to go right back to doing it like nothing happened. And it takes a lot of energy to do that stuff. It really does. It's not a physical thing, but you're concentrating mentally on what you're doing. And, it just, I don't know, there's a lot of shit spinning around in my head right now that I'm dealing with that I think also might be keeping my stress levels up to where it's making it hard for my body to recover. So that's the 411 there. I think the update of my mom. As far as the cannabis thing, we talked about the cannabis thing. You guys went to the dispensary with me. I got a few more people that, not many, but a few that are interested in actually seeing what I'm like high. Now, I think that's funny because I think they think I'm going to be sitting around laughing and eating Doritos and, like just being a knucklehead, which, in high school I was. I mean, when I smoked weed in high school, I was. But the way that I use cannabis now is for sleep, specifically to slow my brain down. And it does actually slow my brain down to where I can think. Like I can read much better on cannabis than I can when I'm not, because of my attention deficit disorder. So for me, when I take the cannabis, I'll take it if it's an edible, I'm going to take it about an hour before I go to bed. If it's a vape, maybe about 30, 40 minutes. About an hour and 20, 30 minutes for the edibles to kick in. If I've eaten, it takes like 2 hours, for them to kick in. But eventually what happens is as it starts to come on, I start to feel high, but I get very drowsy, and then I go to sleep. So it wouldn't be fun to watch me high. I mean, I'm not like a crazy party or anything like that. But I do think it might be interesting, to be totally honest with you, to have people write in questions, right? To do like a Q&A while I'm high. And just for the simple fact that my brain slows down and I would think things through differently, and I piece things together differently. Like I just think differently because it controls my ADD also. I'm just stupid. I'm just dumb though when I'm on it. Like you can ask me a question, I'll be like, what? But if I read the question, I think about it, that'd be totally different. But if I'm having a conversation, my brain just goes sideways. Like as someone's talking, I'm like, I wonder what I'm doing tomorrow. Is it going to be sunny or are we going to have clouds? Like just, that's not good. But like reading is different. I actually have this book right here. Funny enough. It's Please Use While You Are High. All right. It is a creative thinking journal. So basically it's about harnessing, the fact that when you're high, your brain can well, for me, it slows down. So therefore I can absorb information better. But it has some really cool exercises and stuff in here on how, things that you can do to actually make you more creative and have more thinking outside of the box than normal. And it teaches you to do that. And it teaches you to do it when you're high, which is another interesting thing. And it does roll over into when you're not high. So you think a little bit. And I've always thought outside of the box and thought a little bit differently than everybody else. But this thing actually it just kind of brings that along a little bit and nurtures that aspect of you in creative thinking. So that might be an option. I mean, if you guys think that would be cool, where maybe I had like 3 or 4 questions in like maybe a half an hour video that I'd put up, where I would sit down at night after the THC kicked in, then record the videos. If you think something like that would be cool, I would probably be down for something like that, because I think that would be cool too, because I wonder how I would respond to the questions and what I would think of the questions too. So I think it would be interesting for me and you, but you guys let me know what you think, because sometimes the things that I think are interesting and cool, you guys are like, fuck that, it's dumb, Jerry. So you guys let me know. But we're just going to take it one day at a time with the training, one day at a time with my mom, one day at a time with fucking everything right now. It's all I can do, and I can't think too far ahead. I can't plan too far ahead. I just need to think that, today was a gift, and not everybody got today. I did, mom did, you did, we did. But thinking about 6 months from now, thinking about a year from now, it doesn't do anything for me. It stresses me out. Of course, there are things you got to think about in the future, obviously, but the bottom line is to try to live in the moment more, which I've always had a hard time doing, which, interesting enough, I think the cannabis actually helps me do, to be totally honest with you. I think that's why I can read these things and do these exercises, because I'm literally in the moment right there. I can focus, whereas when I have ADD, when I'm not on cannabis, I'm not in the moment. I'm in like what happened 10 years ago. I'm in what's going to happen next week. I'm in like what's happening 2 hours from now. Like there's a million things going on at once, but this seems to slow me down. So maybe we'll do something like that. So you guys take care of yourselves, be well, and do everything you can every day to live the best life you can. We only got one life, and remember, not everybody got today, and we did. So make the most of it. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm Bias3, and I approve this message, and we're out.